Hi, my name is Dr. Jane Hendricks, and I'm a physician in downtown Scottsdale. And I want to thank Councilman Guy Phillips for including me on his educational talk regarding masks. And I'm just going to add a few minutes of what we can do for the immune system, because I do believe the immune system is key in long-term sustainability during this pandemic. After all, I don't think we would be here having this talk if it weren't for the immune system. There's been many epidemics, very severe ones, and plagues in the past that have come through our human race, and here we are still populating the earth. So what can we do today to mitigate the complications from COVID-19? Better yet, just not get the attachment of the virus. So I'm not necessarily talking about exposure that has to do with the masks and the sanitization, but how about inside of us? If we are exposed, which you probably will, you'd be surprised how many viruses and bacteria we're exposed to, by the way, and we have more bacteria in us than cells. A lot of these potentially pathogenic ones do always live in the back of the throat or the stomach, and it's up to the immune system to stay on guard and keep these to where they're not pathogenic, to where they're not causing symptoms. So with COVID-19, most of us will probably be exposed to it. How can we prevent the pathogenic viral load increase of the virus that leads to inflammation, symptoms, and possibly severe complications that has to do with blood clotting and things that we're hearing about with patients that end up in ICU? So for attachment, we just want to lower the amount of inflammation in our body to prevent this inflammatory cascade that's been happening to some. I use herbal sprays in the back of my throat. Like I said, a lot of stuff kind of ends up in the back because we're breathing, and mouth, nose, that sort of thing. So I call the herbal sprays my internal mask. I'm not going to mention any brands, but there's a lot of them out there, and that you've heard of immune system sprays like Echinacea, Golden Seal, that sort of thing. Pick a good brand, start spraying away. And anytime you go out or your kids come back in from playing, you can spray their little backs of the throats. There's no side effects. It just, kind of internal mask helps keep these things in check and maybe from traveling down. Another thing that we can do to keep our immune system activated is practicing certain lifestyle habits every day that keeps the toxins low in our body. As our toxic load increases, so does the burden on our immune system. So let's look at our diet. A diet high in processed foods or even cooked foods actually can engage the immune system. A diet high in sugar, we've all heard about sugar more now than ever. 1 teaspoon of sugar suppresses the immune system for 12 hours. So we want to, natural sugars and fruit is fine. Stay away from processed sugars most of the time. I'm not talking about 100% strict. Just most of the time, if you have a habit of eating sugar, find it in natural fruit like pineapple or dates or figs that have fiber that prevents that increase in blood sugar, and less processed foods. I call it an anti-inflammatory diet, and you can Google this. If you go to a naturopath, you're definitely going to hear about it. Lots of people are following anti-inflammatory guidelines, which is basically eating a wholesome diet, rich in fresh fruits and vegetables of a variety of colors. The more colorful, the better. These come with phytochemicals, plant chemicals that lower inflammation, boost the immune system, help clear toxins, and pair that with intermittent fasting. And again, you can find this all over the internet. I promote intermittent fasting more during the evening hours, which brings me into my next thing that we can do for helping our immune system is sleep. What can we do to improve sleep? Everyone should be sleeping anywhere from 8 to 10 hours. That's what Deepak Chopra says. And especially now with the amount of stress, I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the pulse. The pulse of the city. There's a lot of stress going on. So what we are in control of, we're not in control of out there, but we are in control of how we internally manage stress. We have to sleep. So along with eating healthy, sleep helps the immune system to recover. We all know stress suppresses the immune system. When we travel or we're stressed out, we get sick. What can we do every day to manage our stress level better? Exercise works off nervous energy, meditation, and anything that we can do to improve sleep. Not watching the news at night. If you must watch the news, watch it during the day. At some point when you're already activated, it'll just feed into the already activation, but not when you're getting ready to wind down and go to sleep. Not eating late at night, which if you're doing the intermittent fasting, that takes care of that. That will improve your sleep, the intermittent fasting. and it also improves its digestion. By the way, intermittent fasting and anti-inflammatory diets or guidelines, I don't like to call it diet, boosts your own natural stem cell production, which again helps the immune system. Stem cells help to decrease inflammation in the body. So eating a anti-inflammatory diet and doing intermittent fasting helps that as well, along with sleep. Fluids, get in your fluids. We have to bring this up. We're in the desert. More than any other area of the country, we have to bring this up here, especially with the amount of people that's moving in from the Midwest. We are actually in the top few states, if not the top, for kidney stones because of the dehydration. So get in your fluids. What kind of fluids? Because I know some people are, suggesting, making recommendations. I do not recommend fluids that have sugar or high fructose corn syrup. I do recommend fluids with the electrolytes. I believe that herbal teas is a better source for these natural electrolytes because it's 100% natural, they're plants, and without the sugar, because again, sugar suppresses the immune system and increases inflammation in the body. So you're kind of like you're trying to increase the fluids, but then you're getting more sugar in. So let's do it right. Let's do a gallon of water and herbal tea combined. You can just brew up the herbal tea like normal. And if you're not a hot tea drinker, which I get, it's 110, just dilute it and add ice. Add your stevia sweetener if you like a little sweet. Stevia is very sweet and it's a plant, 100% natural and actually really healthy for the pancreas. So put a couple drops of that in there. With following these 4 guidelines, managing stress, deeper sleep, anti-inflammatory diet, and intermittent fasting, you just might lose 20 to 30 pounds, which then again decreases inflammation. Your diabetes might turn back around where you can lower the amount of metformin. You're going to turn back aging. You're going to have more energy. And so a lot of good things happen just from helping to protect our immune system so that we can, number one, have early activation against viral exposure and decrease the inflammatory load so that when we need our immune system, it will act efficiently, abruptly, and not overreact so we can avoid the complications due to COVID-19. So I just want to again thank Councilman Guy Phillips for everything that he's doing for the community. Thank you for having me, and I wish you all a rest of the summer and a great fall.